Welcome to the Community Difference Rockwall. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. And sponsored by T. Watson with Teen Watson Redeemers. Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press. Tammy Escobedo, Beauty Industry Leader. Bryan Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting. And Josh Small with WeatherTech General Contracting.
The Community Difference Rockwall was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Rockwall starts now.
Welcome to our show today. My name is Debbie Watson. I am the host of the Community Difference Rockwall. So we are excited. We have a great show lined up for you today. I am a representative of the integration, business development, and community involvement that we have here in the Rockwall. And we just get to use this great platform of a podcast to share things with business owners, with nonprofits, with our business leaders. So we're excited to have our guests on today. But for me, I am Debbie Watson with Teen Watson Redeemers. I have over 13 years guiding clients to meet their financial goals. I am passionate about fostering financial literacy through education and comprehensive solutions. My goal is to empower individuals to take control of their finances, redeem their lives, and achieve true financial freedom. But that's enough about me. I want to bring on my two awesome co-hosts today. Today, I have Josh Small with us and Bryan Decker. Let's go ahead and bring those guys in. They're going to share a little bit about what they do in their businesses, and then they're going to bring on their extraordinary guests that we have after that. So I'll turn it over to you, Josh.
My name is Josh Small. I'm the CEO of WeatherTech General Contracting and KAS Texas Construction. We do roofing and remodeling, commercial and residential here at DFW and San Antonio areas. And I'll let Bryan take it from there.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Hey, everybody. Bryan Decker. I'm the CEO of Compass Facilities. So we optimize operations for large facilities, manufacturing facilities, data centers. And so we're able to allow those data centers to scale and to put in foundational processes to save you money, reduce downtime, and make your overall bottom line get better.
Well, great. Well, I know we have some great guests today. So, Josh, if you'll introduce your guests, we'll bring that on, and then Bryan right after Josh.
I've got Cory Stone with Ultimate Choice Roofing and Remodeling. He's also a home builder here in the Rockwall area, and I'm glad to have him on the show. Cory?
Hello, Josh. Thanks for inviting me to the show.
You got it, buddy. The man, the myth, the legend, Cory Stone.
Stone and small, baby. Small and small.
Okay, Bryan, you want to introduce Doc for us?
Yeah, so I've got Doc Rannigan on today. He's the owner of Doc's Roofing. Doc is just such a dynamic personality in Rockwall County, and he's very active in the veteran groups. I don't see Doc, though. You guys got Doc on? There he is. All right. Yeah, Doc's just so involved in the community. He's involved in many different veterans groups, always pouring back into other small businesses and charities in Rockwall. And so, when we talked about standing out in a crowded market, which is what we're talking about today, Doc was my first thought, because I just, he's got such an innovative view on not just what he does for his business, but, his entire brand and what he does for the community. So I just couldn't wait to get him on.
Glad to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on and being able to share some of my ideas, failures, mistakes to help me stay competitive in a very highly saturated industry. And yeah, just looking forward to jamming with you guys and just kind of showing what we all do for this community.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one today.
Yeah, yeah. It is super exciting. You know, you guys are totally opposite of my business, but it's also a totally saturated market when it comes to financial services out there. So I think we'll have some great discussions on how each of you have really made yourself stand out and how you really are involved in the community. So, well, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we're going to come back, we actually are going to talk about the community. It's What's Up Rockwall. So we're going to share some great things that's happening in your local community. So let's take a break and we'll be right back with you.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Hey Texans, hold on to your hats. The Mesquite Championship Rodeo, newest sponsor partner of the Community Difference shows, is back, bigger and better than ever. Witness the heart-pounding action as the best riders in the world compete for glory. Feel the thrill of the chase, the raw power of nature, and the unbreakable spirit of the West. Don't miss your chance to be part of the legend. Get your tickets now to the Mesquite Championship Rodeo or win yours free just for watching the Community Difference shows.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jackie Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at jackie.tobar@provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
And now, back to the show. What's Up Rockwall?
Well, welcome back. It's What's Up Rockwall. So let's hear about some of the local events. I did want to share, since it is our sponsor, Mesquite Rodeo actually does have a few more weekends. They have their last rodeo will be August 31st. And I hear even discussions before the show. You know, I'm sure Cory would love to check out that rodeo because his family has that background. But just, be sure and get out to the rodeo before the end of August. So, well, I will turn it over to Bryan. Share some things that that's going on to the community.
Thanks, Abby. Yeah, only 2 more weekends for the rodeo, so folks got to get out there and check that out before they're gone for a while. But so hey, it's obviously, as I say every time we're on here, I mean, what a wonderful place to live, and there's so much to do around here. But I wanted to start off with, who's ready for some football, right? We've got, for the first time in as long as I can remember, all 3 of our local high schools here are opening up their seasons at home. So, the Heath Hawks are playing on the 29th at Wilkerson, and then Rockwall the following night. And Royce City is also at home that on Friday the 30th as well. So all three teams starting out the season at home. Gonna be an exciting season this year. 6A football is no joke in Texas, right? And we're completely surrounded by some incredible programs, incredible coaches and players, and so I'm really looking forward to that. As always, you've got the San Jacinto Music Series every Friday, so get out there before before you know it, it's going to start getting cooler outside, and we're not going to be able to have these things, right? So enjoy that music while it's there. The farmers market on Saturday mornings at 8:00. And then there's a couple things that are coming up that caught my eye. They've got a puppy adoption event at the Tractor Supply in Roy City on Saturday the 2nd, or on this coming up this Saturday from 9 to 2. So everybody likes puppies, right? I mean, even if you don't take one home, going out and giving those puppies some love would be a good idea. And we got a Rockwall Senior Resource Fair coming up on September 6th from 9 to noon, and that's downtown at the center. A lot of great stuff going on there. We just wrapped up the clays for Casa, the clay shoot for Lone Star Casa, and we've got a couple more coming up. And so, I was out there with Doc. I know he got to impress me with his shooting skills as we were working one of the stations out there. But the Chambers got a clay shoot coming up that's red, white, and boom. And right after that, the after party is actually sponsored by Doc's Roofing. Had to throw that in there. But that's coming up, and they sell out every year, but there's still stuff available now. So check that out, and as well as the Texas Valor Project Clay Shoot is coming up on the 27th of September. All these events are at the Texas Gun Ranch down as you're going south of town near Terrell. What an incredible venue if you like shooting guns. So I encourage you guys to all check those out. But that's about it for me.
Great. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, on September 14th, we've got the CAC Bubble and Bags event at South Fork Ranch. And I've heard that's a great event. I've never been to it, but I heard it's a fun, great event for everybody to go to. Check that out. And then also, saddle up. You're invited to the Mother's Sun Dance by the Rockwall Parks and Recreation on Saturday, September 21st. That looks like it might be a fun event, too.
Awesome.
Hey, Josh, you're going to be modeling the bags. Are you going to be modeling the bags for the bubble and bag?
If they let me, but Cory's the real model around here. He just did a fashion show.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're going to have to dive a little bit into that sometime. Hey, Doc, do you have some things you'd like to share about what's coming up?
Yeah. To kind of piggyback on what Bryan was stating, we have the Texas Valor Project Clay Shoot coming up in October. That goes back to support first responders and veterans that have suffered traumatic brain injuries, PTSD. Great program, great nonprofit. Been supporting them since they came about. You also have the Roy City October Fun Fest that's coming up in early October. But like Bryan stated, Rockwall County always has something going on. I believe they're still doing the Thursday night concerts on the lake. We got Labor Day weekend coming up, so the lake is going to be packed, and it's going to be a ton of fun out there. So Rockwall County is always doing something in regards to the chamber events, hosting events, or the Roy City Chamber hosting events. I mean, there is always something to get the community involved, and that's one of the reasons why we moved here, I guess, almost 11 years ago. So,
yeah.
Awesome. And Cory, you have something to share with us?
Well, I'm just trying to see all the ribbon cuttings that the new businesses coming to Rockwall County and get more involved with Rockwall Chamber. We are sponsoring William Branch and Kristen Barron. We meet at Manny's once a month. So that's coming up next Wednesday night at 4:30. Anyone can join. We have Chris Lara with Burns Survey and lots of sponsors for that. And we pay for all the drinks and food while we're in there mingling with other realtors.
Wow.
That's next Wednesday. William Branch, I think, put it together, and we're Ultimate Choice Flooring for that. But as far as events, we're going to have another ribbon cutting because we never did one with the Rockwall Chamber. We never have. I mean, we had a store on Mims Road back behind Jimmy Meade and Sean Jordan's spot, and that was back. No one knew where we were, and we have a flooring showroom to sell floors. Before we moved to Roy City, we never had a ribbon cutting really. So
Awesome. So when is that ribbon cutting going to be?
we haven't set a date.
Okay. Okay.
We're working with Beverly Rockwall Chamber.
That's a good point, though. I mean, we mentioned the ribbon cuttings; those are always great events, and the small business owners really appreciate the folks that show up. I know I just had mine.
I was going to say you just had yours. Yes. Yeah.
But the chamber does a really good job of advertising those on Facebook. So you can check out the chamber website. They've got a calendar there of those. But you can also go to the chamber Facebook page, and they do a really good job of creating events and sharing those events out. So, check them out on Facebook or on their website, and you start going to some of these ribbon cuttings. They're always a good time.
Yes, and back to the chamber, they had a Symphony of Arts event last Saturday, and Steve Torres invited me to attend that. So we modeled some men's clothing. I brought Lombardo's Custom Apparel was a sponsor, and he allowed us to model the sport coats and a golf shirt. He sells shirts and jeans too, not just custom suits. So
yeah, that's awesome. We talked about that 2 weeks ago, so I'm glad that it went well.
No, it went real well. Wade's Landing was there with mimosas. Chris Bearden, the two owners were there.
Right.
Chris Bearden was serving mimosas, and then all the boutiques. I mean, all the women's, ladies' apparel was great.
Yeah.
And it was Lynette from Providence bridal store down on the square.
Mm-hmm.
She had
modeling Lee Wickland that was on our show 2 weeks ago. She actually had her desserts out there. So great. Yeah.
Lee was there, and Dax was one of the models, her son.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Steve, Dax, and me modeling the menswear.
Yeah. Well, very good. Well, I'll have to go see if there's pictures out there and get that.
Yeah, there's videos.
There you go. There you go. Well, guys,
Nick Hughes actually videoed. Nick Hughes, the big review guy on Rockwall. Nick
Gotcha.
Hughes.
Yeah, Nick.
Well, if we don't have any more, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to dive into our topic of the month. So this will be our last topic of the month. We'll switch back when we come back in September. But the topic is the art of standing out in a crowded market. So we're going to talk to each of these guys to see how they can stand out in a crowded market. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment.
The Community Difference Rockwall is brought to you in part by Debbie Watson with Teen Watson Redeemers, Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press, Tammy Escobedo, Beauty Industry Leader, Bryan Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting, and Josh Small with WeatherTech General Contracting. If you, or someone you know would like to sponsor, or be a co-host sponsor of this show, or other shows like it, please give us a call at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com. And now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Well, we're just going to start around with, some questions. I did want to start the first question, and then I'll pick on one of you to answer. And then, Bryan, if you want to go after that, and then Josh, we'll just go back and forth. But when you're talking about, there's so many different ways that you can really make sure that people know your brand out there in a crowded market. But it also can be a time where it can also highlight maybe a partnership that you have with someone. And so I know that it was kind of mentioned, Doc, that you have helped with certain veteran things. So how do you think that the importance of aligning your brand with some kind of social organization kind of helps you to stand out a little bit more?
I believe it's crucial to align your brand with your values, with your core values. Align your brand with your mission, your vision, and what your overall intent is. And so I believe that one of the things that helps to separate me from other companies in this industry is transparency. Right? I have zero qualms with videoing my entire project. I have zero qualms with showing people who we are, what we are about. I have zero issues with giving new clients previous clients' addresses and phone numbers for them to contact, right? So I'm a very open book when it comes to how we perform our job. Correct me if I'm wrong with the other two guys that are in the construction world. We don't have the greatest label, right? We are not, sometimes we're just the scum of the earth contractors, right? We're always out to do shady stuff and cut corners and charge a ton of money and do the least amount of work, right? And so I believe Cory and Josh can agree that we're a couple of companies that's how we set ourselves apart from the rest of our competition, is that we go above expectation. We set the bar higher than most in order to respect our brand, respect our community, and increase value to that person's house, regardless if we're doing an interior remodel, if we're doing an exterior remodel. We are going to do what it takes to satisfy that client, because at the end of the day, I can build 1,000,000 bridges, but I do one bad thing, I'm no longer known as a bridge builder. I'm known as the one bad thing that I performed. And so that's how we really try to separate ourselves from our competition, is to always be out front, always be accountable, and lead from the front.
Josh, why don't you go ahead and ask a question?
Yeah, Cory, I met you probably, I don't know, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that.
Yes,
And back then, I believe you were promoting Ultimate Choice Roofing. What made you make the change after that to expand your revenue streams to be able to offer much more for your clients?
Well, when we started, it was roofing and remodeling in the name. We've been doing interior remodels the 12 years we've been open. We started in 2012, and my mentor was an Army Ranger out of Houston. He was the Ultimate Builders. We knew each other from the car business. We didn't stay in that. It was temporary for me. And then I lived in Katy, and he had the business in Houston. So when Lantana hailstorm hit around Argyle, we came up, and I moved to Dallas and moved to Irving, and we worked the Lantana storm. And but we've always wanted to do the whole claim. And if they'll listen to us, we try to tell them we're getting all the supplements. We've got to make sure they paid enough for all your damages. I mean, if they just pay 200 linear feet of gutters and you have 300, we need to get paid for the 100 feet they left off. But a lot of times they always want an estimate under what their check is. They don't know depreciation, recoverable depreciation. And now they slapped us with the deductibles and forcing us to try to collect them. And then there's so many people not collecting them still. We lost 28 leads, and they all wanted an estimate and didn't want to share their insurance scope. And it says show it with your GC on the front page. And they still don't listen to us. And then we got all the people that are just eating the deductibles. So I paid 28 leads on Facebook ads, and every one of them wanted to be up. They shopped the bids. They were telling us their insurance paid $12,000. We had some of them give us $12,000. Their insurance claim, one was $12,000. She bragged she got it for $8,500. So
Yeah.
we're dealing with customers now that are taught by insurance agents to get 3 estimates. So that's hurting. When you're telling your agent, the agent's telling them, or the adjusters are doing the same thing. And they're, half of them sit inside the office and don't ever know what a siding is on a house. And they want to tell you, we're only going to pay for one side. I'm dealing with a guy over here at the Royce City Church burn, and he's got vinyl siding. I mean, we're not going to put vinyl back up there. We want to put hardy. So he needs to put all 4 sides of his house from the fire of the Methodist church that burned in downtown Royce City. Yeah. But I've done full GC work the whole time I've been in business. My LLC was a sole proprietor till 2016, but the Secretary of State has Ultimate Choice Roofing Remodeling the whole time. Nice. And I made it LLC in 2016.
The industry started to change in that manner, just like that. So what do you see moving forward to overcome those objections when somebody wants estimates and things like that? Or are you just going to start offering cash estimates and things like that to kind of change things up?
I mean, if they're completely adamant about it, I'll give them a cash estimate. But we're losing the jobs because she called us back. And when I told her about supplements over the phone, she was arguing with me and saying it didn't sound right and hung up. So I had a salesman call her and save the deal for an estimate only, cash estimate.
Yeah.
And then we still didn't get it. And I mean, we're losing money on Google guarantees and Facebook ads every day of these people just wasting their time. And then half of them don't even answer their phone too. So it's a frustrating world of dealing with the customers, in my opinion.
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
care how, I mean, we can brag on the good ones, but the ones that don't trust you and they're the ones being shady up front. It's not us.
Yeah.
We're going by what the paperwork states and following city codes and pulling permits, and we do things right. But they don't want to listen to us.
And I think that's where it even comes back to, you have to discuss the importance of, I know it's hard with the customer, but that loyalty of the customer. So I think, how do you focus, on that? So, Bryan, I know you had a question that you wanted to ask.
For sure. So, thinking about innovative storytelling, right? Doc, I think one of the things that you guys are best at is, telling the story of the job, right? From the beginning to end. You got drones up in the air, you're taking video, you're sharing with your network, every project, right? So anyone that follows you or watches you guys can see, the status of the project, how it's going. It's just it's a cool way that you kind of tell the story of each project. How'd you guys land on that? Because that's pretty innovative, right? It's something that you don't see very often. How'd you guys land on that strategy, and what are some other things you guys do that kind of set you apart from an innovative way?
Well, so I'm always been an individual of an outside the box thinker. So a little bit of history of me: I was a corpsman with the Marine Corps. And when you're out there in the field, you can't go by the numbers. Fair? I mean, you're a retired senior chief. You understand, being in the military, we have to think quickly, on our feet, adapt, overcome. And so that's where my innovation comes from. I am a very, I like to say I'm a high-level problem solver, right? When we're in construction, we are essentially problem solvers. So you asked, how did I become innovative? Well, I search and see what my competition is doing, and I do the opposite, right? So if everybody's doing this, I'm going to go over here and set a new trend. So I want to be a trendsetter. And so when we started implementing the drones and going live on social media, documenting everything, that was a two-part reason for that. One was I wanted to be able to give the client their own sort of video montage of their home. These people just dropped $20, $30, $40, $50,000. They should have that photo to share with or prove to whomever they need to do that they did the job right. The second reason is CYA. I need to cover my own ass. So if the client comes back to me later on, hey man, you didn't do X, Y, and Z, sorry, document it. So that was a twofold reason of why I began documenting so much, was because, hey, you broke my plank. Hey, you broke this. Hey, you broke that. Right. So I wanted to document everything accordingly to cover my own self. The innovation part is I'm always having to think of what is the next best thing. An example is we all buy a ton of swag, right? Josh, Cory, we buy a ton of swag to give to people. Well, I got savvy with it. People didn't keep koozies. People didn't keep pins. People didn't keep certain items. So whenever I said, you know what, I'm going to get a bandana of the Texas state flag, and in the white box, I'm going to put Doc's Roofing and Construction. I have yet to go back to any other swag items. Those are hitting. People love them. They are hanging them in their office. They're hanging them in their jobs. They're putting them in their kids' bags. They're wrapping them around their dog's collar. So that was something that just come to me. And I said, man, what is something that I would want that I won't throw away? I'm like, bandanas. It's 100 degrees outside. Who doesn't need a sweat rag? Who doesn't need something to wipe down a golf club while out there on the course? Got a dog's bandana. So I'm always thinking of new and clever ways to be able to stand out from and keep my swag apparent, right? Yeah. How do I keep front of mind? Because at the end of the day, if it's not raining and my roof's not leaking, I ain't going to call a roof, right?
Yeah.
We are a service we're an industry that if it ain't broke, I ain't calling you. But as soon as the water's leaking, right, our phones are going off the hook. So how do I get people to call me when they don't need to call me? And that's by doing innovative videos and letting people know who we are, what we're about, and where we actually put back into their homes. So.
I really like that, Doug, because I mean it's almost authentic branding and story that you've done because of that idea. I mean that's really ingenious. So I love that. Let me ask a question, and all of you guys can go around and answer. But in today, because you mentioned using drones and stuff, so if we are not evolving in a world of technology, we are going to get left behind. It does not matter what industry you are. You really do have to utilize that. So let me kind of throw this question out. Are you using data or some kind of AI to offer personal or customer experiences to make that customer experience specific to them? So
if you go to
go ahead, Doc, and just share it.
Website right now, there's a little doc at the bottom corner of the website, and it says "Ask the Doc," and then you can say, "How much is an average cost of a roof replacement? Why do I have to pay my deductible? How come one roofer can charge me $10,000 and another roofer charges me $15,000? What's the discrepancy?" So yes, I have a guy that we have now began to implement AI technology so that homeowners can get responses now, because we would all agree that we live in a society of gotta have it now, right? If I don't answer my phone, they're going to go on to the next person, right? That is just what it is. We live in a day and age is if you can't deliver my shit today, I don't want to buy it from you. That's why Amazon is doing so great. That's why they have dominated the world in regards to delivering packages. I order a towel at 8 a.m. I'm getting that towel tonight at 5 p.m. So I have to mimic what is working and what is other companies larger than me. What are they doing? They are satisfying the gotta have it now mentality that we are experiencing in today's society.
Cory, what about you in your company?
Yeah, I mean, we run Facebook ads and they do the retargeting, and we're Google guaranteed. And, we go back and study why, a lead came through. We might get a lead that somebody wants to work for us. I mean, they're wanting to lay tile for me. And I mean, we do need subs occasionally, but I mean, you pay for those leads, and that guy was looking for a job more than the customer needing to retile his house. So we study. I mean, like I said earlier, the 28 Facebook ads leads that came through, we've studied why we didn't land them. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what we've got to change. But
right.
When insurance adjusters are against you, and insurance agents kind of are too, I mean, they try to help you get paid, but they're telling their customers to get 3 estimates. That's not their program. I mean, they give them an Xactimate estimate, and they say it's fraud to keep money. So we tell them that. I mean, you're going to keep $10,000 deductible. I mean, that's supposed to go to the overhead of the customer. I mean, the contractor's overhead. I mean, I'm not going to say profit, because once they hear profit, they don't think you should have any profit.
Right.
So steer clear of the profit word.
Yeah.
Even though it's in their claim, overhead and profits on all our claims.
Yeah.
I try to supplement every one of them. They say it's not even warranted with 3 trays, but I went to the first Win the Storm. I've known Anthony Del Medico since he started Win the Storm. I went to the first one and met all the public adjusters. And I know a Stephenville roofer, Jodan Slauson, inherited his dad's roofing company that was started in the 70s. My grandpa, Till Stone, was building houses, and Slauson did all the roofs. Jodan was a cash estimate guy. He didn't know what a PA was. He's never carried general liability insurance.
Wow.
What about you?
He didn't even know. He said, "Where do you get your GL from?" I was getting it from California. And I've switched to some of Doc's. I mean, Lori did it for us for a while. Aaron Weithrow's girl.
Yeah.
Lori had my GL. I've had Anderson Lee. He's had my GL. I have to have it on a building too. I have a storefront. So you have to have it on your storefront combined with your general liability.
I'm gonna,
Josh, what about you? Do you guys use any kind of AI?
Josh.
Josh?
Josh. I can
Okay,
jump in,
Bryan,
Josh.
you go, because I know you do. I know you use it.
No, I don't use any AI. But I will tell you the way that I made myself different back in, man, this was probably in 2012. I realized that just doing roofing was super transactional, and I was doing a disservice to every customer that I had. And there were so many other things that get damaged in a hailstorm than your roof. And honestly, you're leaving a bunch of money on the table when you walk away and just do the roof, and it kind of leaves it at transactional, and they may not call you back. I found out real quick by offering more, I was going to make more money in the end, and also build a stronger pipeline of customers in the future, which has helped me because I don't do any advertising, I don't do any marketing, I don't networking groups. It's not really my thing. Everything I've done is from my pipeline that I've been building for 10, 12 years now. And by offering somebody a bathroom remodel or a roof, and you do a great job, that customer may call you back for a new fence or a new patio or a new house. It just depends. And so I learned early on, by being different than everybody else, that was the best way to do it back then. I was creating multiple revenue streams. I was different than everybody else by offering all these other things. And now the past couple of years, you're seeing all these roofing companies turn into roofing and construction or general contracting and things like that. And it's really great because there's always going to be those roofing companies. Mm-hmm. And by being able to build those other revenue streams, you're going to make more money. I guarantee Doc's increasing his profit margins by offering a lot more things right now. And at the same time, that customer is getting everything that they need and not just a roof.
Yeah, that's a personalizing at a scale. That's exactly it. And increasing your customer retention by making the client feel valued. I mean, totally. Bryan, what about in your industry?
Yeah, so I actually don't use AI as much as you would imagine I would. We use AI as a reference tool, right? Searching across the internet for typical failures or something of that nature. But we use data every day, right? In everything we do. Right. And so say we were going to propose a solution for your business, right? So say Doc, your facility, you wanted us to come in and take a look at how you're maintaining your facility. We'd go in and do an assessment and get a ton of data and actually be able to present that back for a customized solution for you based off the data that we've gathered, right? So we're able to pull in industry data, able to do research on typical failures, mean time between failures from an industry level, but we're able to pull those in and actually provide customized solutions to our clients based off of the data that we're able to obtain by getting into their systems and seeing what their actual data is. And so that's really from a data perspective. But I wanted to jump in, if you don't mind, Debbie, on the purpose-driven branding, because I know that's kind of across this call, that's something that I've seen quite a bit. And I'll pick on Doc again, of course, but Doc, part of your brand is that veteran community, right? And as you're not only in your day-to-day as you're going out and you're interacting with the community and going to veterans events and things, but you've branded that on all your signs, your trucks as they drive through town. Can you talk a little bit about how you're leveraging purpose-driven branding and what are the benefits you're seeing back to the business for that?
Sure. So I kind of I got into this industry right around the same time, it sounds like Josh and Cory did, in 2011. And then really opened up and branded and created my LLC in 2016. And I coined a phrase of not your average roofer, right? And the reason I use that is because it helps to hold me accountable, right? Because I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I want to take your money and I want to add value to your property. Now, you mentioned, how am I streamlining me being a veteran and my branding, right? So I utilize the word doc because, again, I was called doc in the Marine Corps. And I feel like if you can call the doc because you're sick, why wouldn't you call the doc when your roof is sick? right? So I'm able to use all these different kind of play on words with the company name, which is one of the main reasons why I chose this company name. There's my little one, Brooke. She's home from school. She's part of the community. She makes a difference. And then I also know that Rockwall County is a very patriotic community, right? And so if I want to appease the community, I need to wrap my vehicles that are going to stand out inside of the community. So I got to understand, okay, what kind of town do I live in? Are we pro-America? And if we are, well, I need a brand pro-America, right? Yep. And I also came up with, I need to simplify the name. Because, again, we are short-term thinkers. And so if I have a huge, long company name, are they going to be able to remember that when I drive by them? Or do I have a simple name that they're going to be able to register when they need somebody, right? Yeah. So you have Doc's Roofing. Well, cool. I can remember that versus 360 Innovations in Roofing and Construction. It's like, okay, who's going to be able to remember that? So it was a very strategic when I came and opened and I branded the company name Doc's Roofing. I was strategic with the American flag. I was very strategic with putting on the different military symbols on our vehicles and trailers, because I probably give back, I would probably say 15 to 20% of every profit that Doc's Roofing receives goes back into the community. Yeah. So I set aside anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 a year to give back to the community. And I try to beat that every single year, because at the end of the day, if I'm giving back to where I work, live, and play, then it's going to benefit that little girl that y'all just saw. So, right, I'm a big future thinker. Where am I going to be at in the next 5-10 years? And I think a lot of times companies get bogged down into now versus thinking in the future.
Perfect.
No. That's awesome. And I think we, definitely we talked about the show. We have 3 gentlemen that are very in the same industry. But I think what we've learned is that each of you have your own unique style in your business and how you're growing it. And it also sounds like each of you could actually learn from each other, because that's what business is all about. I was on a meeting even before this, and there was another person, even with the same company, that was in this meeting. But I listened to how he was introducing himself, and it made me think, I like that, so I could use that somewhere else. So I think that's the great thing, why we have these specific topics. For one, it helps other business owners out there as we're live, but that we can also learn from each other. And that's why this segment is so important. So, well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to even dive a little bit deeper into you guys. What made you get started in your industry? Why are you in Rockwall? Just whatever questions we're going to ask. We're going to dive a little bit more into your personalities and your background. And then we'll be back. So let's take a quick break.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you. Enjoy DFW's most fun, affordable night out and catch the Rough Riders, the AA affiliate of the Rangers, at beautiful Riders Field in Frisco. The Riders are back home Tuesday through Sunday. The weekend opens with classic TV night on Friday, baseball in Paradise night on Saturday, and Touch a Truck night presented by Alpha and Omega Equipment on Sunday. Don't miss fireworks on Friday and Sunday presented by Globe Life as well. Get your tickets at ridersbaseball.com. The Frisco Rough Riders, the future stars of your Texas Rangers.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to this segment. It's more of a get to know, dive deeper with our guests. I want to start off a question and then I'll turn it over to Bryan and Josh. But I hear all these great things about Rockwall and all the community. But what if you could change one thing about Rockwall, what would that be? So, Doc, I'll start with you, then I'll ask Cory, and then I'll ask the other two gentlemen too. So, Doc, what would, if you could change just one thing?
If I could change one thing about Rockwall, I would strongly encourage people to bite their tongue on social media. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with this town. Everybody is so apt to point the finger. But I'm a firm believer that if you point the finger at somebody, you got what, 3 or 4 pointing
fingers? Yep, 3 fingers.
What is that? Who's in the background?
You got a good job there.
So that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? I love the Rockwallian Facebook post. I love all of this stuff on there. But at the end of the day, if the one thing I could change is just don't take stuff so seriously in this world. I mean, for those that have been overseas, those that have been to third world countries, y'all, we don't know how good we got it, folks. Like, we'll talk. We don't know how good we actually got it here in the United States, and especially here in Rockwall County, based on a lot of our core values. This town really represents what I would say 90% of the people that live here of their core values. And so I would just say, hey, man, everybody just take a breath. It's not that bad. And if you think it is that bad, I highly encourage you, take a trip across the pond and let me know how bad you really got it.
Exactly.
So gratitude.
Yeah. Cory, any thoughts?
I agree with Doc. I mean, Rockwallian gets way too cocky. So, I nicknamed it Cockwall instead of Rockwall. I'll be playing golf in McKinney with the pros, and they're like, where are you going? I'm like, heading back to Cockwall. Because Rockwallian, I mean, they just pop off all the time. Yeah. But I'm going to tell it like it is. But I know we do a lot of veteran charities. I think I'm a board member of Be an Angel with Mike Renfro and Dan Pastorini, both Houston Oilers. They changed instant replay with Dan Pastorini's pass to Renfro against the Steelers. And I'm a board of directors member with them. And Be an Angel is buying wheelchairs for underprivileged children. And Dan Pastorini started the Houston division. Renfro runs the Dallas division. We just had a meeting at Ridgely Country Club in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Newly member of the board, and I think the other charities need to grow in Rockwall.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I agree with you, Cory.
This
You know,
time,
and it's funny, you guys. We always hear traffic, right? That's what we hear on the show. But I was really in line with you guys today, where the impact on a small business when you have a bad experience and you hop on social media and start talking, you can put somebody out of business by doing that, right? So you got folks, feeding their families with these businesses. They're pouring their heart and soul into it. If you have a bad experience, just please reach out to the owner and discuss privately on what happened, so they can get your feedback. You don't need to tell the world about that. So I love that it went a little deeper today than traffic and things of that nature, even though traffic is bad. But that I was going the same way, right? I was on Nextdoor earlier today, and someone was talking about a bad experience they had. I know Nextdoor doesn't get the same visibility that Rockwallian does, but you do see that pretty often, where someone's just looking for validation over their bad experience, and it's just much better to reach out, and the business owner will most likely make it right. And so that's actually where I was headed, and I'm just shocked when you guys started talking about it, because I'm like, man, everyone always says traffic, and I was going deeper today, and you guys beat me to it. But
what about you?
I want to jump in. I want to jump in real quick and ask Bryan and Doc, everybody, a question, really. So,
Sure.
I've been. And Bryan, we had this conversation here lately. It seems like that social media, and it's not just Rockwall, man, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's turning into a modern day witch hunt, and people have no idea what they're talking about. They just get riled up by emotion, by someone else's story. You don't know what the truth is, and until you do, you probably shouldn't even comment on either side. Why is it that, of course, one of the things we're trying to do with the difference is bring the positive spin, the positive things that are happening in our community.
Yeah.
What is the good? Because there's a lot of it, and it's getting overshadowed by the lynch mob mentality.
Yeah.
So why is it so hard? Why can some of these groups create a group on Facebook, and as long as it's just nasty and just bitter, it's like there's more traffic there than you can imagine, and you try to do something good, and you try to bring on the great people, and you try to show the nonprofits and all the great attributes of a community, it struggles to get support.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, from a Facebook page standpoint, you've got to make rules, and the admins have to hold the folks to the rules. And the reason that it happens, though, kind of goes back to the validation that I talked about, right? When you're angry about something, you want validation for your anger, so you reach out, right? And then folks are like, man, I felt that way too about this business or about this thing, right? And then now you've got some commonality around the wrong side, right? Around the wrong thing. And so just like when you're running a business, right? If you're in a business meeting, the business meeting starts getting off the rails, the one that's running the business meeting needs to be able to shut that down and return it back to the point of the meeting, right? Well, the point of these social media pages should be the positivity surrounding the communities that we live in, and I think that's what I love about the difference, is that's what we focus on. We focus on the positivity. If someone came on to our page and started talking bad about a local business owner, we would not allow that, right? They'd be gone. And so I think creating the power of positivity within our community actually supports those local businesses and allows folks to feel comfortable and empowered to go visit these businesses, instead of hearing one bad experience someone had and they're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't go there, right? And that's how negative effects can put someone out in the third or fourth order from everyone hearing it. I don't know. What do you think, Doc?
Man, I would say that misery loves company, right? Mm-hmm. Why do people go to NASCAR? And they go to see the wreck. So I believe that our society has been groomed to appreciate chaos and disorder, right, as entertainment. Look at Cops, longest running live series since the 80s, right? Yeah. People love to be able to see other people fail because it makes them feel better about where they're at, right? Sure. I think a lot of that was those people that feel that way have never been built up and to gain their confidence. I truly believe that there hasn't been enough people in this world being punched in the mouth. right? I truly believe that we can all agree we're right around the same age. Back in the day, if you spoke wrong, you're going to get punched in the mouth. Today, nobody gets punched in the mouth anymore. They're allowed to talk shit. They're allowed to say bad things, but there's no accountability, right? Yeah. I believe that once the accountability starts to come into play, then I believe that people's stances will begin to change a little bit more because there's no accountability on these social media profiles. And then when you try to catch somebody out in public, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me. And you're 100% right. And that's why I'm almost afraid to comment on these things. Because as soon as I comment, they're going to click on my name. They're going to figure out who I am. They're going to be like, oh, this guy runs Doc's Roofing. Doc's Roofing believes that everybody should be. You know what I mean? And now there's this whole new bullshit about me and the company because I made one comment about facts. And so it makes it hard for small business owners to go in and say, no, this isn't the way, because if I don't agree with you, then you're going to try and burn me down. And so it's almost easier for the people to just stay quiet and go, you know what, I'm just going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep focusing on what I need to focus on. I'm going to keep what's right. And I'm going to let these people over here just kind of filter to the wayside. And it makes it unfortunate that we can't speak the truth because the lie is louder.
Yeah. No, that's true. I obviously haven't done business with all of you, but I know for a fact that all of you guys have experience where a client's upset about something and you've had the opportunity to make that right. And I bet you've experienced, even though you made it right, they went on and gave you a bad review or went on and did something like that. But I mean, I guess, and I know we only have a couple minutes left before our next break, but like, how do you, I'll go to Cory on this one. Cory, when that happens to you, how do you make it right with the client? How do you overcome that negative situation?
Sometimes you can't. I mean, in construction, there's been some that they know more than you and they're the GC. So, I mean, it's just, I've had some where you either walk away with not getting paid and leave the job. I mean, let them take over. Her dad was paying a job in Dallas. We did siding and her house was built wrong. The soffit, all the trusses were not even, and then all the framing was done wrong. We tear off all the soffit and fascias, and she blames us because we couldn't line up some of them because the trusses weren't even. I mean, that was built in the 80s or the 70s. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not at fault for what was already there, and then they blame you for it.
Yeah, you're right.
But back to standing out, I meant general liability. Like there's roofers out there running around without general liability. That's why a guy that's been in business 40 years and never had to carry it. I mean, I don't understand. He just paid them with cash if he screwed up. But, funded like these high-end golf courses like Club Court. I was a member of Brookhaven. Club Court I've done some of their roofs or tried to, and they're not in their deductible. I mean, the roof is less than what a deductible is. They have $1 million deductibles. Their roofs are $400,000, so they have to put it in the budget. So,
yeah, I hear you. I know
general liability goes back to standing out. I mean, you got to carry it. I mean, cover your customers.
Guys, we got to take a break, but when we come back, it's rapid fire. This is going to be a fun segment. I'm going to ask an off-the-wall silly question, and you just answer it with one sentence or one word or something. So then we're going to wrap up the show. So let's take a break, and we'll be back.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media, LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
Like I said, it's that rapid fire. I'm going to shoot out some questions and we're just going to go around. Just one quick answer, no details. This will, or you'll get buzzed, actually. We have a little buzzer you can get buzzed. Well, there we go. So, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would that be? Doc, we'll start with you.
Hell, let's go back to Cancun. That's my home away from home.
Okay. Cory, what about you?
Italy.
Bryan?
Spain.
Spain. Okay, cool. Josh?
Bali.
Interesting. Yeah, Cory, you and I, we'd be going to Italy. That's on my bucket list. What about you, Lyndon?
Scotland.
Scotland. Very cool. Very cool. If you could meet any historical figure, who would that be? Josh.
Historical as in they're not here anymore?
Yes.
I mean, okay. Man. Pass. I don't know.
Bryan, we'll come back to you.
I'm going to go Sam Houston.
Okay. Cory.
Babe Ruth.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. Doc, what about you?
It's going to sound kind of crazy, but I'd really like to sit down with like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I think that would be pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Big fan of those guys.
Got another one?
I got more.
No, I don't have
Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp. Yeah.
Holiday and Wyatt Earp. I'd like to.
There it is. I definitely kick with Billy the Kid.
Yeah. Well, mine would be Ronald Reagan. I think that'd be great. What about you, Lyndon?
General Patton.
General Patton. Okay. Let's do one more, and then we have two more, but the last ones I always like to close out with. If you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would that be? Doc.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay. Cory.
Ribeye steak.
Okay.
Heart attack waiting for happening, Cory.
Good for you. The marble's good.
Yeah. Bryan.
Mexican food.
Yeah. Fajitas.
Hey, Vanessa. Josh.
Fajitas.
Fajitas, yeah. Mine would be Mexican too. I mean, definitely. And Lyndon.
It's broad, but wild game, preferably elk or moose.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw, but Vanessa also wants to meet Doc Holliday. I want to make sure.
There you go. I didn't see that. Cool. Very good. Very good.
Fun story. When I started to do Christmas lights one year, I named it Doc Holiday. And I got phone calls just because of the name. So rest assured, I'll never do Christmas lights again. I will never.
Holiday.
Yeah, that's great, Brandon. That's ingenious.
Say when, Doc.
Well, let's do one more, and then we're gonna just wrap this show up. So, I love to end with this one. What's the best piece of advice you have ever received? Josh?
Probably to outwork everybody.
Great. Bryan?
The people that surround you are your future.
Great. Cory?
Practice hard and do it right.
Awesome. Doc?
I would have to say just being honest with yourself. Like that's probably one of the best pieces of advice I've ever received. Is just it's okay to be honest with you.
Right. Mine was when you plant your flag somewhere, just never quit because you'll have ups and downs, but just never quit. Lyndon.
So your Ronald Reagan meeting, my he didn't give it to me directly, but I took it. Trust but verify.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, we are going to wrap this show up. It's been a great show today, just learning about each other. So we're going to take literally just 30 seconds to let people know how they can get a hold of you and where to reach you and things like that. So Cory, 30 seconds, just wrap us up and let us know how to get a hold of you and how we can find you if you need you.
Okay, thank you. UltimateChoiceLuxuryHomes.com on Google. Our local flooring showroom is at 720 East Lamar Street, Royce City, Texas. And we're looking to build more homes in the future. So we'd like to get back into the home building field more.
Awesome.
Hard to deal with these roofing guru customers.
That's how you really feel, Cory.
Go ahead, Doc.
It's all show, baby.
Doc, go ahead.
What do you want me to answer?
Oh, tell your company and where we can get a hold of you.
We've been here all day. Like Doc's Roofing and Construction, you can just Google it. I'm on it, docsroofing.net. Something about docsroofing.net is that you can get your estimate right there. It says build your own quote. You'll get it within 5 minutes. And then obviously you can find us on all your social media platforms. If you see one of our trucks out there, you know what I mean, just call us up and we'll be happy to help you out in any way.
Awesome. Josh?
You can reach us at weathertechgc.com or 469-544-3958 for commercial and residential construction.
Awesome. Bryan?
Yeah, so our website's compassfacilitiesconsulting.com. You can reach me directly at Bryan at compassfacilitiesconsulting.com. But reach out. Love to talk to you about your needs.
Awesome. Well, and I am Debbie Watson. My website is teamwatsonredeemers.com. I can be reached at 214-801-7481. I do complimentary financial plans. So if you're looking for a way to learn more about finance, give me a call. And Lyndon, tell us a little bit about your book and how it goes into the community difference, and then we'll wrap the show up.
All right, just finished the book. It was published back in June, and it is called The Entrepreneurial Difference, Pioneering the New Paradigm of an Ecosystem-Driven Business Growth and Development. We will be kicking off our first Beyond Networking event called the Business Development Alliance tomorrow at Urban Rio in Plano at 4 o'clock. And one of the things that's different about the networking is that we go beyond networking. We are actually going to be talking about the topics that are very, very critical to small business owners, which is understanding how to network, create content, stay top of mind without being salesy and self-promotional, which in turn will build brand relevance and brand differentiation. And through the curriculum of that book, and it is on sale on Amazon.
Awesome. Well, guys, that wraps up the Community Difference Rockwall today. We will be back on in 2 weeks. Thanks, Kristen, for the shout out. It's a great show, guys. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks where we will have Tammy Escobedo and Frank McLean. So we'll be back with them. So have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for watching today's show. The Community Difference Rockwall is brought to you in part by Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press, Tammy Escobedo, Beauty Industry Leader, Bryan Decker with Compass Facilities Consulting, and Josh Small with WeatherTech General Contracting. If you, or someone you know would like to sponsor, or be a co-host sponsor of this show, or other shows like it, please give us a call at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.